Welcome to Fifth Dimension. So I'm going to do a general reading for the collective. I've already pulled the main energy for where the reading's direction is going to go, and that is the card Bring Love into the Situation with New Moon in Aquarius. And this is sort of feeling like time to get back to the tending. It sort of feels like seeds that were planted that were left unwatered for a while, and it's not so much that there wasn't intention going towards that. It just feels like something else took over as far as like needing your attention or your energy or your time, that you haven't been able to tend to something. And for a lot of you, this is going to be yourself. But for some cases, this could be some goal that you're working towards, a job, career, finance, anything that's sort of being highlighted right now in your life. And you'll know because it's been coming up in your thoughts. It's been coming up sort of as a, I need to get back to that. Okay, so getting back into something is going to be a high. It's going to be the highlight of today's reading. Now let me go ahead and get an energy check. So this is going to be so that you don't even have to question whether this reading is for you or not. This is going to be the current energy of the collective. You'll be able to identify your reading through this energy if you resonate with it. Okay. So we have the card 32, Door to Spirit. Being called towards something, and this may be intuitively. It's a gut feeling. It's, like I said, something that feels like it's been coming up in your thoughts. It's kind of, if I'm seeing a to-do list, it was pushed down for a while, and it being highlighted in order the need to push it up to the top. It's time to tend to that currently. Again, for a lot of you, I'm still getting the sense that this is something within yourself that needs to be tended to. So maybe this just means going into hermit mode, that you're being called to do that, to tend to yourself and your spirit. Your inner world needs extra attention at this moment. It sort of feels like being called back. Being called to take a step back, and not from doing something, but a step back from the direction that you've been in right now. You've kind of been in a, I was going to say high-speed chase. Maybe it feels like a high-speed chase. Just needing to be on the go, constantly moving, making decisions very quickly, and gaining a lot of distance that you may not see because life, it feels a little chaotic. It may just be there's been a lot going on, and this doesn't necessarily feel like chaotic in a bad way. It just feels like you've been very busy. The collective has been very busy, but it's sort of been a bit of a distraction. A bit of a distraction from the attention that you've been needing to tend to within yourself. And for other people, this is just something that you've taken a break from tending to that needs the attention now. So what messages, guidance, advice can you offer to the collective about what they can expect? It feels like just from these two cards alone, the Two of Wands, the needing to, there was a pause. There was a pause in something, but it wasn't because like you were just sitting around doing nothing. Like the pause essentially was because your time, energy, maybe finances were being eaten up somewhere else. There may be a part of you that feels like a little bit stuck because of the time away from either the tending to. This could be as simple, like, let me just give an example. This could be as simple as like self-care, like some sort of daily practice that you've not kept up with. It could be as little as that. Maybe you've been too busy to take, moments of meditation or journaling or whatever it is that you do, cleansing with sage daily, crystal work. Maybe it's just even a nap, a well-intentioned nap that you've not been able to keep in the routine as of lately. And there may be an aspect of you that feels a little stuck in perhaps how to get back into the motion, back into the flow, is sort of what it feels. There's a little bit of hesitation as well. You're being reminded of the strength that you have. You're being reminded not only of the strength that you have since you've taken the break, but that you've been gathering as well. Because although there may be an aspect of you that feels like, oh, I've wasted a lot of time being away from or not doing something towards, but in actuality, there was things that you were needing to tend to, even if it kept you away, it kept you at sort of a pause from this. And then we have the death. It's a rebirth. What's interesting about this is that usually death, the energy of death, it carries a heaviness. And while I suspect that there is some heaviness involved in whatever it is that I'm talking about, because I'm being very vague, right? But because it's a general reading, while death normally carries this heaviness with it, it sort of feels like you've got this. Like there are some shifts happening in your life. There are definitely some endings going on. But for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like it's as paralyzing as the death energy can sometimes carry. It feels more so that the theme is that whatever did ended was for a reason. And I feel like you know that. Maybe that's why there's a sense of peace with that. There's a sense of acceptance with the death energy. There's a sense of peace of that you've gathered what you needed to gather from this track of journey that you've just completed, that you're now stepping away from. It feels like you're very well aware and accepting of the changes that you're about to embrace or currently embracing or already in the process of laying out for yourself. And then I'm getting the vibe of like, this ain't my first rodeo. So yes, there's a definite energy of strength in going into this rebirth chapter. So let me go ahead and get some messages for the rebirth energy. What can we offer in this time of rebirth for the collective? What can we offer for the collective in this time of rebirth? What do they need to know? We have the Four of Cups. There is some level of dissatisfaction that's coming to an end with that death. And it feels like almost like you're like that. Oh, sorry. That's what's motivating you. Let me take a water break really quick. Okay. So it feels like the anticipation of like the good riddance energy of this level of dissatisfaction. That's what it feels like. It feels like, okay, I had enough of this, whatever it is that you're coming from, whatever it was that was distracting you, whatever it was that was taking your time and energy and resources, that you had to put something personal on the back burner. I feel like you needed to experience that. You gained what you needed. It was something that you could not continue without having experienced on your journey, but at the same time there was this level of dissatisfaction and ready for change, which is probably why this death energy feels like there's a peace and acceptance of it. It's like almost it's welcomed. The rebirth is welcomed currently. We have the Seven of Cups and we have the Four of Swords. Yes, taking the time of there is a pause energy that feels like I said that's like stuck. There's a piece of you that feels a little bit stuck right now, and I wonder if it's just that there's too much potential, there's too much opportunity, there's too much possibilities of I'm trying to gather because I resonate with this energy of being stuck. But I want to know what the guidance is regards to that. The guidance in regards to this energy of being stuck. There's a lot of contemplation going on, a lot of thinking. Okay, that's what it is. So essentially, the stuck energy is just overthought. It's just overthought. There is a lot of what ifs, should I, how do, but it's all about action, babes. It's all about action at the end of the day. Like, yes, you can think, but you also got to be taking the motions, taking the actions, taking a step. Grab one of them, make a to-do list, become structured with your moves, and it feels like time needs to be used wisely to most benefit you. And in some cases, this is small, simple steps. That's all you got to do. If the overthought is, you start off with thinking like, maybe I should, step one, but then your mind spirals off and you're thinking about, but what about 10 years from now? Is that going to sustain me? Is that going to fulfill? Whoa. Bring it back. Bring it all the way back and just take one step without all the overthought. With just taking the step that you feel guided to do right now. Simple, small. You don't have to have it all figured out, okay? One step right now in the present day is going to be all that you need, kind of, right now. Sort of what I'm feeling, right? Yes. You're going to be guided. You will fall into the flow. So while it may feel sticky at first, it may feel sticky, not sticky, but stuck. It may feel difficult to figure out maybe even what the first little baby step is. And that's okay. Don't put too much pressure on you to not make any mistakes, okay? Depending on what that is, right? But don't put too much pressure on yourself to not feel a little silly about the decisions. Like, that's how you learn. That's how you grow. Allow yourself the energy to make mistakes is strong, because that may be what the stuck energy is the fear of making a mistake, the fear of making the wrong move. When in reality, you're being guided to just make the move. Just make something towards the move. Just make one step, and maybe just researching how to go about that one move or something, you know. Baby steps. You'll fall into the flow. You will be guided, absolutely. But it will feel a little bit of the unknown. I'm not going to lie. It will feel like the it's not always going to be so clear where you're headed or what's to come of it, but you will feel it in flow. It will feel like the steps connect is sort of what I'm feeling. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. It feels like the long game. You are in a rebirth, so don't put too much pressure for things to hurry up and be fulfilled. The Seven of Pentacles is taking the time to put in all of the work and make sure everything is properly environmentally supportive for growth and abundance. And there's no rushing that. Nature takes its time. It's not that nothing's happening if you're not seeing something physically manifest, but there's always something happening in nature. Change is constant. So I sort of, again, it's giving the energy of allow yourself some grace. Allow yourself some trust, not only in yourself, but in that things are always working out for you. even if you're not sure which direction you want to take this rebirth, even if you're not sure sort of what you want to put your energy into at this point in your life. It feels like there's a lot of figuring it out, and why there may be stuck energies because you're meant to go slow on this. Although you have been with yourself your entire life, every time you have a rebirth, specifically one that almost feels welcomed, it feels like a change in the game. It feels like, remember that a rebirth means you're starting from scratch. So think of yourself sometimes in that way, and maybe that'll allow yourself to give yourself some space for mistakes, space for growth, space to relearn who it is that you are, because you're constantly changing. And it feels like there are big changes in you right now, that you're rediscovering almost a new version of yourself as you enter this new rebirth chapter of your life. So be sure to take time with that. Spend time with yourself. Get to know who it is this new you is, without putting too much pressure on this new you to have everything figured out automatically, okay? There will be mistakes. Babies bobble and fall and do all kinds of silly things before they realize how to go about getting what they want, going where they want to go, doing things they need to do. And remind yourself of that you are relearning yourself. You are a new version of you. And to not expect this new baby you to have it all figured out automatically, okay? Things take time. Growth takes time. You have the strength, you have the tools, you have the ability. There's a little bit of overthinking, but you're very well aware of that as well, I'm assuming. Which is probably why you're watching readings. But let's go ahead and get you some guidance for this rebirth. Guidance for the collective. Get some guidance for the collective, please. Oh, I flipped it. Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. And then Sage, be devoted and committed. This is what I said. This is about, it's going to be relearning. It feels like a restructuring. So if it was something that you neglected within yourself that you're just starting to get back into, maybe you're going about things like trying to do it with the previous way, the way that you used to go about it. Consider that you are a new version of yourself and that you may need to relearn a new way to put that into place, whatever that be for you, okay? And if this is just something that you've taken time away from, that you're trying to go back to, same thing applies. Is reminding yourself that there may be a new way to go about it, which is why you may be feeling a little bit of resistance or stuckness in the energy, is that you're attempting to go about it in a way that's no longer true to who you are, okay? And then with the Mirror Guardian, we have take time to reflect. I think this is just looking at yourself. Know thyself. Know thyself. And in this case, you are relearning. So do take time to reflect. Don't go off of assumptions of this is how I've always been, or this is who I am, based off of who you've told yourself you are, or who you've previously accepted yourself to be, because you are changing. The energy has shifted. There's something different in you. And this new version of you deserves an opportunity to be seen, to be understood, and to be accepted by you, just like previous versions of you have been. So maybe that also comes with some letting go, reflecting on where you've come from, and being at peace with the pieces of you that are no longer there, externally and internally. Maybe doing a little ritual if that's what if you're up to that. Like to honor previous version of you. Yeah, because that comes with some sadness. There's got to be some release at some point with the death energy. Even though it's not coming out heavy in the energy, there's some sadness involved. I feel subtle hints of that. What was lost, you know? But yeah, that's what I got for your loves. I hope I was able to offer you some sort of guidance. If anything resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, until we vibe next time.